Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Carolyn Talks Television. I'm Carolyn Topal, and I'm here with my amazing co-host,
I like that.
Rachel Arnett.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm assuming you're good. I can't hear them.
Well, we are here today following up on the amazing night we had with you all for the Emmys. That was quite a big show.
It was amazing. It was honestly one of the first award shows in years, besides the Tonys, that I was interested in.
And I think part of it was that there was a lot of surprise.
Yes. And there was a lot of joy, and people were very happy to receive awards, and people that should have been receiving awards for years finally got recognized.
And they were also back together in full swing, but a little bit, I like that they did the tables instead of the auditorium style. I kind of think it almost looked familial, like when someone in a show got something, everybody was there. You know, you felt like they were going to all raise their glasses. Instead, we raised our glasses. But okay, someone did. Someone did.
Yep.
And so we wanted to follow up and give you a little bit of what we thought about some of the Emmy ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I am going to start with who the biggest winners were, because these are shows that are now on my queue list.
Same.
So, White Lotus. I am definitely going to watch last season of White Lotus and then jump right into this season of White Lotus.
It was a show that I always meant to start.
Yes.
And just never got the chance. But now, you know.
There's like 10,000 shows on television now, and I wish I could say, oh, well, I'm exaggerating. I'm not sure I'm exaggerating anymore, especially if you include repeats and revival shows and nostalgia networks.
I mean, right now I'm in the middle of 3 different shows that all started in the last week.
Oh my gosh.
Between Cobra Kai, a Netflix show that I love, and a Hulu show that I love. And at the same time, I'm watching them.
And then, of course, not necessarily surprising, but not taking it all away, in the comedy land was Ted Lasso.
Yes. Another one that I have been meaning to see. Everyone tells me I will love it from start to finish, every moment of it. Everyone says Jason Sudeikis is incredible in it, and yet have not found the time, but it is time now.
Okay.
I'm going to add 4 and 5, White Lotus and Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with White Lotus because I really want to see it. I really do want to see that one very much. I also like the stars in it, so I think, what the heck, might as well go for it.
I didn't realize that night, until that night, that Sydney Sweeney was nominated for Euphoria and White Lotus, which I thought was amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
She's also a very young actress, so to be recognized in 2 separate categories for 2 totally different shows, I thought was amazing. And frankly, she deserved the nomination, at least for Euphoria. I have not seen White Lotus, but if she is as good as she is on Euphoria, I can only imagine.
So we're going to go with those, and those were the 2 big winners. I don't know if you thought those would walk away with it, and maybe we should have known that, but we didn't. But we hope.
Didn't expect it.
We hope that, as happened, sort of they spread the wealth.
Yeah.
It wasn't a one-show night, which I really liked. I really like that. The next thing I want to talk about is probably my favorite subject, and yes, I am that big a geek.
It's okay.
I love the gowns.
Yeah.
The gowns, the gowns, the gowns. Oh my God. And this year, the gowns I felt, look, first of all, I'm going to say, no offense to the guys, they all had great tuxes. Some were in color, some weren't, but
they were fine.
There was nothing that was like, oh my God, look what he's wearing. I wish there was, but there really wasn't this year.
Nothing I saw.
But the gowns were either this classic Hollywood look a la Grace Kelly practically. I mean, Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
I mean, she looked like she came right out of a 1950s Hollywood magazine as the cover.
Yep. And then Lizzo's gorgeous, like super volume, just like 17 people to help her up the steps because she deserved it. Gown.
And then
Kerry Washington's. Do you remember?
And then if you think about it, Cheryl Lee Ralph almost started the trend that I didn't realize was such a big trend this year, was the short, gorgeous, fitted bodice, which is kind of what Lizzo was wearing
Absolutely.
also, and these lengthy, majestic trains behind them, frequently in an alternate color fabric, which was just amazing.
And even just the way, I think I'm always going to remember Cheryl Lee Ralph on that night, and we'll probably talk more about her in a second.
Yes,
but
we will.
Her hair and the pearls in her hair and her makeup, like people were just, along with the dresses and what they were wearing, doing unique and bold things with hair and makeup, which was nice to see.
But elegant, elegant. Not trying to emulate somebody out of Star Wars.
Yes. I do
Universe.
love a good Ray triple bun. I'm not gonna lie. I do love it.
But in this case, I thought everything was so elegant. It really was. People came out to be beautiful on the night that they were going to be recognized, and beautiful inside, outside. The words. This was some of the best speeches as well. I have to admit that the speeches met the night.
Yeah, and even like the comical moments when Jennifer Coolidge started to get played off, and so she started dancing to the music, which is a very Jennifer Coolidge moment.
And you got the whole audience, by the way, laughing. So basically what she did was she actually entertained her peers by doing that, and not to mention a gazillion other people watching like us. Okay, Cheryl Lee Ralph. I'll let you talk about her first.
I could talk about her forever.
One of the first acceptance speeches, if not the first of the night.
I think the first.
The first, okay, go for it.
The first. So,
she's all yours, Rachel.
Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy for Abbott Elementary. Not only did she deserve that, but frankly, she's been deserving Emmys for years. For everything she's ever in, she brings a fierceness and an elegance and genuine, like I believe every single one of those characters, even though I've seen her in 100 things. And she accepted her award by singing, which it's so funny to me that my students don't know that she was the dream girl.
She was dream girl.
She was dream girl. Like she started that role, and Beyonce had to live up to Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Right.
And I just think it was such a powerful moment to start the show. The song that she sang was about, I'm an endangered species, but I'm an artist and I know where my voice belongs, which I think is been kind of a message that award shows have been avoiding for a long time. And we've talked about it before with representation and even nominations.
Well, clearly this year, I thought it was really across the board. And the team from Abbott Elementary revealed recently, like in the past couple of days in interviews, follow-up from the Emmys, that they did not know she was going to do that. This was a surprise, partly because she didn't share it, because she truly didn't think she was going to win, because they're a regular network show.
Yeah. And her son is on TikTok, and he happened to post like the moment. So her family was there as well, but they were in the seats towards the back, and you hear them like screaming, like "That's my mom!" And it was just
oh my gosh,
such an amazing moment. And he even showed on TikTok the moment she was nominated, and she found out that she was nominated. And I'm just happy for her, because I genuinely believe that she is one of the top actresses working right now that just has not, outside of Broadway and small roles, really had the light shine on the work she does.
And I'm also glad that a network TV show was recognized, but earned the recognition.
Yes. Yep.
Which does come to say that despite the fact there are still a whole lot of limits on network TV, you can still make outstanding TV. You can write outstanding TV, you can direct outstanding TV, and you can star in outstanding TV without going over the edge.
Won the award for writing.
For writing.
And again, deserved everything. And I remember seeing her in like BuzzFeed videos, and she did her own YouTube sketches, and she was always funny. And then she just kind of like disappeared for a couple of years.
Now,
and then
speaking of Quinta Brunson, beautiful segue, my dear, because Rachel just knows how to segue the best. Let's talk about her award moment, because it ended like within, I think, 24 or 48 hours, something like that. She was then invited onto the Jimmy Kimmel Show, where he literally did everything short of bowing to her. He did make a heartfelt apology and said, I am so sorry if you felt in any way I took your moment with my comedy.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't meant to be. And basically,
he was dragged out onto stage as part of a bit. I think it was Will Arnett
dragged him out.
And the whole bit was that he was so sad he didn't win TV host that he was just laid out. And to be fair to him, he didn't drag himself right there. But he also might have wanted to open his eyes and see where he was, because Quinta had to step over him to accept the award.
And the other thing is, like, at one point when she's there and Will Arnett leans down to him, because this part I do remember, he went and he gave a thumbs up and he stayed there. That should have been the moment, which I think maybe, look, I'm not a mind reader, but my guess is Will Arnett was saying, now get up and get out of here with me.
The bit's over, now it's her chance. But it was interesting because I saw an interview with her after, and Jimmy Kimmel was actually really instrumental in her mind in her career and in getting the show.
Oh, great.
And so she personally, she was like, I don't know, the internet might have a different reaction, but I was actually kind of happy Jimmy was there. I might feel differently tomorrow.
Well, the other thing she said to him, which I think probably was true, although she is a good actress, so you never know, was that she basically said, look, I was blown away by this moment, and to be honest, once I got to that mic, I didn't even think about you over there. I was thinking about this amazing moment that I got to.
Yeah.
So hopefully that was an honest response.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I love Jimmy Kimmel, but he really messed up on that one big time.
Not the mood, not the vibe for the evening.
Not the vibe, because it took her thunder. Yeah, don't take her thunder. The joke was great. The gag was hilarious.
But he could have
rolled.
Yeah.
It ended.
Just roll away off camera.
Yeah, or even he could have even crawled away or something funny.
Well, that was one of the things that a lot of people online said, is now there's not a single picture of her up there accepting her award with just her and not him like lying down in front of her.
Right.
And so people were like, that's not okay. But she seems okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I was going to say, we'll take her at her word.
Yep.
Either that, or she's a better actress than any of us even knew, and next year the award's got to go to her.
There we go.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about the series that won some of these awards. We had some great series going. Look, when you have categories that are so loaded like these were,
I genuinely had
really
no
hard
idea.
To tell.
I had no idea. In drama series, you had Better Call Saul, you had Euphoria, you had Ozark, Severance, Squid Game, Stranger Things, Succession, and Yellow Jackets.
And by the way, I know Succession has a really kind of not so good, what you would call what they're about, basically.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm going to watch that now, because it does have some seriously good stars in it.
Yeah. Well, it was very interesting to me that.
By the way, Succession won for Best Drama Series. If I didn't say that, I'm saying it now. You heard it here.
The only one that I expected to potentially win over that might have been Better Call Saul, just because it was the final season. And they actually, I think, had 40-plus nominations in all of their seasons of Better Call Saul. Did not win a single one of the acting or Best Drama nominations.
See, and I thought for the same reason Ozark would win.
Yeah.
Because it was Ozark's last season.
Yep.
And I think Jason Bateman, wow.
And
Laura Linney.
Exactly. And Julia Garner did win for Best Supporting Actress for Ozark, which, again, I've seen clips of the show on TikTok. I watch TikTok a lot. Have not seen the show.
That makes one of us, by the way, so just saying. Yeah.
The clip alone that I kept seeing of her, I was like, oh, she needs something right now. Somebody give her an award or a nap. I believed that character wholeheartedly. It was terrifying how good she was in even just the short clip I've seen.
And, the thing is, when you have a cast that's led by Jason Bateman and Laura Linney, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
They don't participate in junk.
Yep.
Because they don't have to.
Exactly.
They don't have to.
I mean, the cast of Succession is, again, big name after big name. And they've all been nominated repeatedly. It just didn't work out for them this time.
Now,
or it did. Sorry, for Best Series.
Jason Bateman is from a star family. His sister was in Family Ties, his older sister.
Didn't know that.
She
I just know him from everything.
She played Mallory, Alex P. Keaton's sort of
Okay.
bubble-headed sister, the middle
Got it.
child,
Okay.
and who actually probably had a lot more abilities than she ever let on because she just let her older brother take the lead.
Wouldn't
so
you-
it was a very nuanced character. It was fun, and it developed over the years. It started out as being bubble-headed and brainless, but then ended up showing that that was kind of somewhat of a facade.
There have been a few times where characters have done that on TV, which I thought was interesting, where they
Yes.
act a certain way because they know it's what's expected of them, and then the whole time, and then at the end of the show they go, actually, she was a genius. Like, what?
Well, what they did was I like shows that allow arcs
Yeah.
and development of characters, that each time you're renewed, you said, well, let's take it a step further and give this character growth. And growth comes in a variety of different ways.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes it's negative growth.
But you're right. But Jason Bateman started out in a very sugary, syrupy show that people don't even realize he was in. He was a character, an add-on near the end of the series Little House on the Prairie.
I did not realize that at all. The first time I remember him is the movie Juno, because that was kind of my age range.
There you go. There you go. Well, Little House on the Prairie is on repeat, so you could watch it 24/7 probably.
Yeah.
But he was on, I think, a couple seasons of it near the end.
Okay.
You know, like when you try to refresh a show, sometimes what you do is you add a new little kid.
Yep.
Well, he was one
the
of the
new
new.
little kid.
He was one of the new little kids they added, and interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So he started out doing what he had to and worked his way up. He was not just dumped into starring roles.
No. Well, and that's the other thing is you think about some of the people who are being awarded, and I think most people probably know Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary. They never thought that she did anything else.
No.
And then you think,
And
oh my God,
it's
the
like
woman
she's
was
been
on
working
Broadway.
for years and years and years and years, and so they call it an overnight success, and it's like it is not. It is years of slogging through
right.
a system that is frankly not designed to celebrate you, and
Yeah.
she stuck with it, and she said, "Don't ever give up. I'm proof of that."
I love that. I love that message. I love that message. And speaking of messages, from the Best Actress in a Drama Series, we had Zendaya.
Who, again,
In Euphoria.
I love Euphoria, and her performance in Euphoria is painful and powerful. Like what I love about the character is that it's very real in that she makes mistakes regularly. It's not a story that's fully of redemption. She's playing an addict who's recovering and relapsing and recovering, and I think that's certainly not an easy role to play and embody.
And you know what? She's playing a role that I love to see, because while she plays a teen in that, and first of all, teens also sadly become addicts.
Absolutely.
It's not meant for only people in college and people who are 20-somethings. Addicts come in all shapes and sizes and ages, and with all different things they're addicted to. And I think the message she sends is, you are important even when you backslide and you are in recovery, and then you have to start recovery all over again.
She said multiple times in interviews that it's not a show that is based on the false idea of hope that you get in a lot of movies sometimes, where it's fast forward 20 years later and all is well. They've never relapsed. And that when it's really recovery from anything, mental health or addiction, substance use, is messy. And that's why I love the way she portrays the character. And frankly, she also feels very much, the way that she relates to the people around her feels very much like a teenager in this time.
That's true.
At no point do I feel she's a 20-plus-year-old woman who's just pretending. It's not like when we used to watch Glee and they're 30.
Right, they're getting older and
feel
older
30.
and older, and
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. Right.
Yeah. Not to compare Glee and Euphoria, which are totally different shows.
But what I was going to say is, for example, decades ago, and I'm talking about when you were a little girl,
Okay.
not when I was a little girl, when you were a kid. There was a show, Saved by the Bell, which
Yes.
is on repeats
Yes.
24/7 also,
Love
like
me
the
some
Brady
Saved by the
Bunches. My era was the Brady Bunch. Saved by the Bell is in
Yep.
repeats. You could probably watch it anywhere
yeah.
on the planet right
They
now.
even did a reboot.
I know.
It wasn't. It was a reboot. We'll call it that. That is all I have to say about it. It was a reboot.
I figure somebody needed income. I don't know what
Yeah.
that was about, but whatever. But that show once tackled addiction, just like Family Ties once did.
The
but-
Jesse Spano caffeine pill episode.
And it was the smartest person in the group to stay awake to study, and then got hooked and couldn't stop taking the pills. And they actually did a similar type of thing on Family Ties. And Michael J. Fox's character, who was supposed to be brilliant, and also with the idea to do great in school.
Even on Glee, there was an episode where they were taking, I think it was antihistamines to like boost themselves up, and it was someone who was not a nurse, but was in the role of school nurse that was giving them the medication. But it's always like one episode, and then all the problems are solved, and nobody has
that's
to.
what I was going
Yeah.
to. Is all these shows that have tackled it in the past, you never heard about it again. And it's sad because we're not saying dwell on it and make it Euphoria, make it that show. But I think literally ending it in a 24-minute or whatever, 22 minutes, whatever a 30-minute show really is when you add the commercials, it does it injustice. And that's where Zendaya and the show Euphoria lends itself to reality. And it's an important reality check. And if we're going to have streaming services that you can watch these things on,
Yep.
where you get a more realistic view of the world, I'm really glad she took this on.
Absolutely. And so to be so she won twice in a row, youngest person to do that.
Yes.
Also as producer.
Won twice, period. Youngest person
yeah.
to win twice, period.
Yeah. And did it consecutive years.
Yes. Oh, was consecutive? I didn't
Yeah.
realize. I thought there was a middle
Was
year.
there someone in the middle?
I don't remember.
Well, so I think it was consecutive because it was the show didn't happen last year, did it? I don't remember.
Oh, I'm not sure. No, they did. The show was last year, but then they brought things to people's houses. It was really
that's
weird.
That's right. She did win because I remember her being at her house.
Oh,
when
really?
she won.
Oh, okay. Well, in
Yep.
that case, hello. And once again, she was against really big name actresses.
Sandra Oh, who never won for Killing Eve, Jodie Comer, Laura Linney again.
And then we move on, and then the best actress again, we're moving down to that, is we see again Squid Game.
Which I was so happy because
And
I
I
actually
think it's
didn't
Lee
expect him.
Jung-jae is
Yeah,
his
Lee
name.
Jung-jae.
Okay.
And
Right.
he was so good on that show.
Now, I know people who now want to see that show, but I'm still, and I don't mean to be cute, squigged out. But
You
the
have
concept.
to be very okay with tremendously graphic violence. So it's not a show that I know, like, I think my mom would enjoy the psychology of it and the character portion, but she wouldn't be able to get through the show.
I mean, just the big doll thing,
Yeah, that alone,
that alone freaks
at
me
the
out.
Emmys, the fact that they brought the doll to the Emmys was a lot.
I mean, I have trouble with the little doll in the horror film. Just looking at the picture of the little doll,
Yeah.
so seeing that doll, that's too big.
Too big.
I like dolls. I don't
Yeah.
like those dolls. I like dolls,
Exactly.
but ew, 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 ew.
Yep.
And then when we move on, we had supporting actresses. Julia Garner, as you said in Ozark, did get it. So I'm glad they got something
Absolutely.
in the top
Yep.
in the top bundle.
Yeah.
Supporting
And,
actress,
I
I
mean,
should
every other
say.
nomination is Severance, Yellow Jackets, Better Call Saul, Succession, Euphoria.
I mean, we're seeing series primarily on streaming though.
Still absolutely a streaming series show. I think.
And I have so many sad mixed feelings about that. Like, I feel like I should say somewhere out there, okay, networks, it's time to change the rules just enough so that you really can compete. I don't see it happening. Daytime TV or what they call daytime TV. Even some of these shows are shown in the evening, like the game shows. But what's included in like the daytime Emmys.
Yep.
I think it's a different animal, you know,
Absolutely.
as they say.
Yeah.
Because for those shows, you have a different audience. People are watching those. Take me away. I don't want to think too hard, unless it's a game show, and then I want to think along with them. And if I can't get the answer, at least someone on the show will.
But it's all for fun.
Yes.
It's not tense and scary.
Or making you think really hard. I mean, you watch a soap opera, you know you're not them. You watch a soap opera because guess what? Better them than you. And not only that, it's so outrageous, you're like, yeah, whatever. And it's great. It's good background noise and all that fun that goes along with that. And they have really nice costumes usually.
Yes. But these like best drama series, you have to follow moment by moment. If you miss a moment, sometimes you miss the entire crux of the episode.
And even the comedy.
Yeah.
The comedies are multi-layered now. Ted Lasso did not get where that show is because it was just a bunch of slapstick.
Yeah.
It's a serious show at a serious level. So we had a great time at the Emmys. We really enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed it with us. I would hope that we might do something like that again in the future. It was fascinating talking for 3 hours. And I'm pretty good at talking, but that was even challenging for me after a while. But heck, just give me a topic. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah, we would do improv well.
Ooh. The scene is you're at a bank and a TV show.
Ah. So I go to the safe deposit box, get out my key, and quickly go over to the screen.
Love that.
And get on camera.
There you go.
And show what I got out of my bank because I clearly have gold bricks in my bank account.
Oh, yeah. But they're really heavy. So you have to like drag your
Haul
purse.
them?
Yeah.
Oh, so we just switched to sitcom now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We're mixing genres.
Okay. Well, so we don't mix any more genres. We are going to thank you all for once again watching Carolyn Talks Television. We had a great time talking about all of TV, bunched up in a little bitty package on the screens. And let us know if you have anything you want to make sure we don't miss out on a future genre. We'll be happy to talk about it. In the meantime, we'll see you next month on Carolyn Talks Television.
Have a good day.
Only we won't have champagne. Have
No.
a good month.
Have a good month.
And a good day.
And a good day. Bye.